Hi everyone, am I audible? Am I audible, people? Good evening. I'm totally fine. Hariharan, good evening everyone. How was your Friday? Mine was pretty hectic. How about everyone? You guys are practicing every day? Yes or no? I don't I don't want to listen no for this. है ना? Cool, cool. Uh till now not good. Oh, great, great Vikas. That's great comment I'm receiving. Cool. Now, fine, fine. ठीक है. So today we'll be going through. You all can see my OneNote screen. You guys can can see the screen now. Okay, let me create one another page for this. Okay, so this is for advanced is part 2, right? Okay, so uh what I mean to say today is, just a second. Fine. So for today's class, before today's class, we have covered advanced JavaScript concept 1. In that we have covered pure impure functions, we have covered closures, and we have covered one more topic. What was that? What was that? Pass by value and pass by reference, right? Okay. Okay. So today's class would be like everything that you know, not everything, most of that you already know, that I already covered. Okay. So today's class would not be like that much of lengthier, and that much of, you can, you if you don't practice this, then also it would be fine, because I think so you already know it is. This is I'm covering because the, you have to know the concept, like see, if I'm doing 1 plus 1, then you know that the answer is 2, but you should know that we are doing addition operation, right? So similarly, you know the concept, you know the answer, but you don't know the name of that concept. Okay. Okay, it's not revision, Joseph. Not every topic that I'll be covering today would be revision of that. Many, like one topic is that you know don't know, and that is more important in terms of your interview, just like closures. Okay, in yesterday's class. Okay, so today's class will be starting. Anything that you want to ask from the previous classes? Anything? We are good to go till today. No? ठीक है. So then I'm starting with today's class. So my first topic of today is the higher order function. You remember we discussed about this in one of the classes, and over that classes I told that we will be discussing this in future class. Yes or no? Am I audible? And now we discussed that. Okay, so today we'll be covering in detail what do you mean by higher order function. Okay, now, okay, so now the higher order function is basically, first of all, let me tell you the definition of that, and I will let you know about the concept. Okay, so the higher order function, it also known as HOF, are functions that returns, okay, or that returns other functions. Okay, we can also tell that returns other functions as arguments or return functions, okay, as result. Okay, so if you remember that so these are basically a functions that will return other function as inputs, okay, or you can say like the return functions as inputs, as arguments, or as return functions as results. Okay, so you can tell that it will accept other function as argument. Okay, so if you remember in the function of in the class of our maps, so we have already covered in the arrays class about the map, filter, reduce, sort. So can you see any similarity in between all of them? We have covered in depth, right? Yes or no? We covered about the map, filter, reduce, and sort. Now we in detail we saw that. I think you still remember that class without revise that, है ना? So can you tell me one similarity between all of these four functions? Okay, they takes functions as an input or they takes functions as an argument. Yes or no? Everyone, am I right? Am I audible? Why you people are so low today? I cannot see many people that I usually see in my class. I cannot see that energy. Where is Priyanshu, Dipanshu, Ekta? Where are all? Your day is not good today, guys. Okay, fine. Sunya, yeah. Okay, ठीक है, fine. So I'm clear about this four function, right? Or you want me to repeat that? You want me to repeat that four functions, or you're clear with it? Okay, so if you observe in the, let's say if we are taking about the example of sort, okay, so we were taking array dot sort, we were taking input as a comma b minus a. So can anyone tell me what is the output of this? What will be the output of this that I have already written? Descending mode, right? है ना? Okay, ठीक है. So Hariharan, the similarity between all of that function is what? Like, see, sort function is accepting. This is what? This is another function that it is taking, right? है ना? So if I'll call about the map, then array dot map. Here we were doing some process, है ना? In this particular thing, we were passing a function, right? Map was used to transform our array, right? So in this particular thing, whatever functions we were passing in this, it is basically telling this array that you have to transform by using this map method. So it will go individually component by component. Let's say if I have a array like this, 1 2 3 4, I want to find a square of everything, okay? So I want my array as 1 4 9 and 16, okay? Why 1? Because one square is already 1, right? So I want to write a function in this to square that. So I'll just write that. No, I'll write a function to square. It will basically accepts one input and it will return what? X into x, right? So basically every time this one would be passed here, every time this two would be passed, three would be passed, four would be passed, it will return every time x into x and it will form this particular new array, right? We already seen that. So what it is accepting here also, it is accepting a function, right? Okay, similarly for filter, similarly for reduce. Yes or no? Right? है ना? Okay. So in case of filter, if I want to give an example to all of you, then like suppose I want to find that items greater than 3. Okay. So if I have in my array like this, 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. Okay. So if I want to find the items which are greater than 3, so what I'll do, I'll just write array dot filter. Inside this particular thing, I have to pass my function. Okay, but in the map I shown you how to pass a function. Now I'm writing my function here only to show you that you can also do like this also. Okay, so we already seen that also, that function, inside that it will accept item. Okay, and we'll can write something like this, right? Inside this we can do return item greater than 3. Guys, I can do that comfortably, है ना? Okay, it was pretty simple, right? Okay, now, okay, so what did this he said that can linear recursion. Dipanshu, we have not covered recursion yet. Okay, we have covered basic recursion but not this linear recursion and all. Okay, so but yes, you can also take an example of that as well. Okay, here, because in the recursion also we are passing function inside our function. Okay, okay, so it will also call like that. But see what the concept here is, in the argument we have to find, we have to pass a function, not in the function. Inside function we don't have to do that, right? Inside this argument, this function's argument, we have to pass a function. Okay, Hariharan, we have not covered linear recursion right now. Okay, so we'll not discuss that right now. Fine, I hope everyone will be comfortable with this particular thing. Okay, so see, in this particular, this filter is already a function. This filter is already a function. Inside this much, we have passed this function. Yes or no? Right? Okay, so it is an example of higher order function. Okay, so now if I want to tell you, that no we have this particular thing. Suppose if I have, I'm just asking you a question, huh? So right now, suppose if I have my const numbers, and I'll see how many of you can solve this. How many of you can tell me the correct answer? At least the concept, not the code. Okay, 5 and 6. Okay. Now suppose I want to find the sum of everything. What should I do? I want to find sum of all. How to do that? Awesome, awesome, great, great. So everyone is telling me to use the reduce function, right? Okay, use the reduce function. Okay, now how to do that for remaining people? I'm just writing it. Okay, so we'll write the function. Let's say we are calling it reducer. You can name it anything, right? And what it was accepting, reducer is accepting what? Yes, accumulator and current value. Yes, remember it, है ना? So it will accept accumulator and current value, right? है ना? So in this particular thing, we can do like this also. Like without, I'm writing this function of reducer, na? So it will return what? Accumulator plus current. Okay. You can also write it inside your reduce method, right? So here also I can do like this, like console dot log. Here I can do what my numbers, this was my array numbers dot reduce, and I can pass this particular function, है ना, called as reducer. It will give me the correct result, yes or no, right? ठीक है. So it is also accepting a function. Now this is also accepting a function. Okay. This number dot reduce, this is my function, right? Okay. Hariharan, not reducer, it's reduce. Okay. My main function is reduce. Inside that I'm passing this particular function. Okay. Okay. Yes, a function returns another function. It's also called as a higher order function. Okay. So Nilanjan can't understand accumulator. Okay. So accumulator, that means this accumulator, that does mean that suppose I had given you the example in the normal mode, right? So in normal mode, what you will do, sum is equals to sum plus numbers of I, you will do that now. Okay, you will initialize the sum with 0. Every time you will add number of I, that means your current element, into this, right? So can anyone tell me, can anyone help Niranjan with the help of accumulator how to see? This is our conventional way to write it. So here our accumulator is what? Sum, and our current element, this is what? Our numbers, right? Numbers of I, है ना? So we have rewritten that with the help of sum plus current value. So every time it will return the value of that. I hope it is clear to you. Niranjan, am I clear? Yes, sum is accumulator here. Sum is not accumulator, but sum is acting as a accumulator here. Okay. So every time this accumulator will have the latest value of it, similar to this sum. Okay, you can think about this like, okay, you can watch this those session. Okay, you will have much more idea. You can have much more clarity by that. Okay, now we will move to another topic of today. That is, so see, as I already told you that today is not will not something learn much new thing. Okay, as we learned in previous sessions, such as map filter on that on those sessions we covered a lot of concept, those were totally new to you, right? But in this particular class you will not find that much of difficulties in order to understand it, because many concept that you already know, right? So the second topic for today is something known as composability. Okay, so okay, sir, can you please, okay, Aradhya, if you have lost your signal, then I think so you have to watch those particular thing again, but I'll explain you. See, I haven't no taught something new. It's just a reduce function. It's just a reduce function. So reduce function is accepting another function as an input. Okay, so this is my another function as an input. This is my function. It is returning what? It is accepting accumulator and current. Every time this will run, for every element of it, it will accumulate in this particular accumulator and it will return that. Okay, similar to this. Okay, conventionally we used to do that, right? So Priyansh is asking, but it where in initial value as in reduce declare accumulator value also. So yeah, so that is a good thing. So if you remember that, if you remember those class now, then in reduce function it is accepting two things, right? First was our function, and second was our initial value. So here, if after the comma you have to do 0. Okay, so I think you remember that. I was not, I was just revising that, that's why I haven't written that. So I think you already know, right? So function name can be called as a name without it. Hariharan, yeah, you can do that. We did this in a lot of other things as well, right? In arrow function also we used to do that. Okay, so function that will accept another function. What do you mean by that? So now if you know read this particular definition again, you will understand everything, so higher order function are function that will return other function as input, as argument, or return function as result. So it will make a lot of sense now, right? Priyanshu, it is not mandatory. Okay, if you don't do that also, it will run. Okay, but in this particular case, you have to mention it because otherwise it will give you undefined. Okay, we also we had also seen that in our class. I think so, right? We also took the same example in our class, right? Okay. So now the second topic of today is composability. So now, guys, tell me that. So suppose, yeah, okay. Let me write first the definition of it. Then I'll explain that. So please observe carefully what I'm writing it. Composability. Composability is a process of combining or joining multiple simple methods or multiple simple functions also we can tell, well, simple functions to build a more complicated one. Okay, so this is the main definition of that. So let's say for an example, if I'm giving you that const add uh, is equals to a comma b, a plus b. Okay, okay. And if I'm writing it another function, this is a simple function, right? If I'm writing it for multiplication, then const multiplication is equals to a comma b, a into b. Okay, this is my second thing. And right now if I'm calling it add, let's say 2 comma multiplication of 3 comma 5. Okay, if I'm doing it, guys, can you please tell me what would be my output? What would be my output here? Everyone, please answer, everyone. Okay, it would be 17. Yes, everyone is right. You know, good. So since like, okay, let me tell you. So here our multiplication should have most precedence over addition. You know, okay, here our multiplication part, this multiplication part is having more precedence. Okay, it should be like this only, right? Because if addition is performed first, then this will be having a wrong answer, right? You know, so whenever we have this kind of requirements where our inner function will be executed first, then the outermost function. Okay, so when you have certain type of ordering that needs to be followed, in that you use composability. Okay, so for an example, if I'm having this, that if I'm having add, in this particular thing I'm having suppose if I want to do, like, if I want to take my operation, if I want to do my operation like this, 2 plus 3 multiply 5 plus 4 multiplied by 7 plus 5 multiplied by 3. Okay, if I want to do that, if I'm having my add function, if I'm doing with my add function, let's say if I'm doing like this, add, then if you will see that first of all it's 2, so 2 comma multiplication of 3 comma 5. Okay, then I'm having multiplication of 4 comma 7, multiplication of 5 comma 3. Okay, this would be my thing, right? So internally it will do what? It will do add 2 comma 15 comma 28 comma 15. Okay, it will add all together and it will give you the answer, yes or no? It will be doing like this only, right? It will be done like this only, है ना? Okay, now suppose let's take another example to understand it better. Let's say if I having my question is 2, if I want to do 2 plus 3 multiplied by 5 divide by 7. Okay, so if I want to do like this, then first of all I need to define my divide function as well, right? Because we have just defined my add and multiplication function. So let's say we have defined our divide function that will accept two arguments and it will return a by b. Okay, suppose hypothetically we have defined that. Okay, now what I will do, I'll just first do add 2 comma, then first of all I need to do what? I need to multiply it, okay? And then after I need to divide it, okay? So I will do, first of all I need to do multiplied of 3 comma 5, okay? Okay, whatever this answer is, I need to divide it with 7, okay? I need to divide it with the 7. Now if you see here, add 2 comma 15 divided by 7, whatever my answer would be, it would be here, and you need to add this two, okay? Okay, so this is the basic concept of this. Okay, you already known this was already known, but since the precedence of this multiplication is more, okay, then that's why we did this here. Okay, so for your information, the in the precedence rule, the divide and multiplication both have equal precedence order. Okay, so you can do either way. So like my concept is that whenever you have this kind of requirements, whenever you have this kind of requirements, wherein your outermost function should get executed first. Okay, so at that particular time you have to do something like this. Okay, where your ordering is mattering. Okay, so like I'll just write it so that you can remember that. So whenever you have requirement like inner function, you want to execute first, okay, and then the outer function. Okay, after that you want to execute the outer function. Okay, so basically where your ordering that needs to be matter. Okay, where your ordering of function execution is mattering. Okay, at that particular time you will use this particular concept of composability. Right, yeah, you can do that. You can also like write divide at first also, but I think so both have same precedence. Okay, so you can also interplace like each other. Okay, you can also do divide first, you can also do multiplication first, but the concept is whenever you have this kind of requirement wherein the ordering is mattering, this kind of question, this kind of concept should quickly come into your mind, because these are concepts, these are not the actual concept, these are the name of the concept. Okay, we know the concept but we don't know what is the name of the concept. Okay, so if the interviewer will ask you what is a composability, you should not be the blank one. Okay, because you already know what is the concept but you don't know the name of the concept. Similarly for the higher order function. Okay, many of the people know higher order function, what is callbacks, what is higher order functions, but they don't know the name of it. That's why this purpose of this session is to remind you about the concept name, because you already know the concept. Okay, fine. So now our third thing that is important, that is really very much important, it is very much important. Okay, Deepak, same happened with you. Can you share your experience? What was that? What was asked in your interview and that you already known, but the concept name that you didn't know? So it happens many times with many persons. I have witnessed that. Okay, so anyway, so the new concept for today is currying. Okay, it is important. Okay, function currying. Okay, so just for your information, carrying is like optional thing. Okay, optional thing, that means you can achieve your output, you can achieve your whatever you want without carrying as well, but there are certain scenarios where this is used. Okay, where this is used, there are certain kind of use cases of function carrying. Okay, So let me tell you what do I mean by the function currying. Okay, so uh, like currying is a technique. Currying is a technique of evaluating functions or function with multiple arguments. Whenever anyone wants to trick you na, in terms of like you already know everything, okay, but whenever anyone needs to trick you, they will use this kind of concepts to trick you, okay, because you know the concepts but you don't know the name. You have to know the name also, okay. Multiple arguments into a sequence of what we can say, into the sequence of um, functions with single argument, okay, that would be better. Functions with single arguments, okay. So let's read once again. Currying is a technique of evaluating function with multiple arguments into a sequence of function with single arguments. That is the process of transformating your function, okay. So that does mean that when a function, let me write it as well so that you can understand that. When a function, and from this class I'll be sharing this notes in this class only, okay, or else I'll just share these notes to you in GitHub, or else with Anshul in the class only, so that I'll not forget, okay. You can read right away, okay. So when a function, instead of uh, instead of taking all arguments at a one time, so since we have multiple arguments, so when a function, instead of taking all arguments at one time, takes the first one, or takes the first one and return a new argument, new function that takes a second argument or a second one and returns a new function, which will further take the third one, and so on, okay. Okay, so what does I mean by that is, suppose the, like I'll just write the syntax of it, okay. So let's say if I have my function, if I have uh, this is my function, let's say if I have my function, this is my func, inside it I'm doing it, let's say, okay, let's take the ordinary function first, okay, then after I'll transform that. So let's say originally your function is what, your function is const add is equals to uh, it will take, I think so, three, will take three arguments, okay. So let's say a comma b comma c, okay, and it will further return you what, a plus b plus c, okay. This is our simple function, guys, this is our simple function now. Now, no audio, it's for everyone, that was no audio. Okay, so you understood the what I was writing, right? Because I was writing it. Okay, fine now. Okay, fine now. Okay, ठीक है. So I'll not repeat that, right? I'll not repeat the definition understanding. Okay, if you want me, just tell me. So I'll repeat that. Fine, fine. So see, this is my normal function. Add. It will take three arguments. a comma b comma c, it will return me a plus b plus c. This is simple function that we have taken, like we have we did this many times. Okay. So similarly, see, it is accepting what, three arguments, right? Now, so I want to make it in a better way. So what I'll do, I'll just make a one function. Let's say my function func, it will take my one argument. Okay. Inside that, I have my return b. Inside that, I'm writing my return c. Inside that, I'm writing my return a plus b plus c. This will end of this return, this will end of this return, and this will end of this one. Okay. So we have divided our all inputs with the only one. So every function will take just one argument. Okay. So it will, now if you read the definition of it, okay, so currying is a technique of evaluating a function with multiple arguments. So see, here we have multiple arguments, yes or no, है ना, into a sequence of functions with single argument. So we have covered it with the sequence of functions, that this all are functions. Okay. So if I want to tell you, if I want to, explain you by this, that see, this is my one function, return c is my function. This will, whatever it will return, it will be going here. It is also one my function, return b, and again this will be returned to this. So this is a sequence of function. Okay, that is what I have returned here. Okay, so currying is a technique of evaluating a function with multiple arguments into a sequence of functions with single argument. So all the functions that we have bifurcated will have only one single argument. Okay, so when a function, instead of taking all arguments at one time, takes the first one and return new functions. Okay, so it has taken the first one and return the new function to this. It will take the one function, one argument, it will return to the new function here. Okay, and so on. Okay, so it will take the first one and return a new function, that takes a second one and returns a new function, which will further take the third one, and so on. Okay, so this is my syntax of it. So basically this is nothing but, this is my syntax. Okay. Okay. Yes, it is like nested function. Okay. Yeah, I'll explain the use of that. Just for, hold on for a minute, I'll explain the use of that also. Okay, so I hope this structure is clear, what we did. Yes or no, everyone? Okay, you know, so this is a arrow function that we have used, okay, for your information, for those who don't know the simple function and arrow function, right? Yeah, Priyanshu, please ask. What is the doubt? And yeah, Deepak, I saw your comment that you were asked about the yeah, you were asked about the higher order function. You know the concept, but you don't know the name, है ना, the exact thing what I just told, है ना. This has happened to many persons and many interviewers. Okay, they know the concepts, but they don't know the name of the concept. That is a big trouble, है ना. Okay. Priyanshu, yeah, you can pass. You can pass. See, we have passed this, na. You can pass. You can do anything you want, but there is some specific use case of doing this. Okay? There is a specific advantage of using this. To be honest, I have not used this currying much, like many times in my career. No one uses it. They will just find the simplicity. Okay, so at one particular time, okay, if you see here, that if you want to add, if you just want to add three numbers, okay, a, b, and c, for that only you have to return this big code. Okay, you have to manage that as well. Okay, so but there, for addition I will not prefer to use this. For addition everyone will use this. Okay, but there is some specific use case to use this kind of thing. I'll explain that. Okay, I'll explain that. Okay. Yeah, I'll explain that, Joseph. Just for hold on for a minute, okay? I have not completed it. I'll explain you in detail. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so now since I have so okay, for an example, if I want to implement that, if I want to show you, okay, let me go with my Mozilla. Okay, I'll do the inspect. Okay, console. Let me share my screen. So I hope everyone can see my Mozilla console. Okay. Okay. So let me write some code. Let me write some code for you. Then after I'll give you some time to play around with this. Okay. You can do anything you want with this. Okay. You just have to play around with this. Okay. With this concept. Okay. Fine. So first of all, I'll just write my like normal function. Let's say const add a comma b comma c. Then after my thing. So I guess so you know how to write the arrow function, right? You remember that in this particular thing, arrow in the left hand side. What is this? What is this? Argument, right? And in the right hand side, what is this? Logic, है ना? Okay. So this is my syntax of writing the arrow function, right? It will assign to a variable. है ना? We had discussed in detail about this, right? Yes or no? Okay. Dipanshu, please refresh your page. I think so everyone has audio, right? Please confirm. I'm audible now? Okay, cool. Please refresh your page. Fine. So what I'll do now, that in this particular add function, I'm doing my return a plus b plus c. Okay? And if I'm doing my console dot log add 2 3 4. Okay. If I want to do that, let's run this out. It is giving me the 9. Okay. So this was my ordinary function. Okay. This was my ordinary function that I have that we have used a lot of time in our programming career, right? Now, now if I want to do with this the same thing with the curry function, okay, with the help of currying concept. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll name this function as curry add. inside this particular thing Inside this particular thing, I'm doing it, I'm then taking it with some. Okay, and here in this particular thing, I'm writing my logic as return a. Inside that, I'm writing return b. Inside this, I'm writing it c, return c, and I'm returning finally the sum of uh, a plus b plus c. Okay, and outside of this somewhere, I'm writing the code for, like, I'm just doing const addition is equals to curry add. Here I'm doing it with the add. Okay, so let me know how many of you are understanding this particular code. Let me call this one. Okay, first of all, addition. Inside this, I'm passing 1 2 3. Okay, this is the way to implement currying. Okay, yes, sum is the argument. Okay, let me first solve this. Why it's undefined? Nan undefined. Just a second. This is 1 2 3. Addition. Addition will go here. Curry add. Inside this we have passed our add function. This add will go here, ABC, and after, okay, it's not plus, it's comma, B, comma, C. Okay, if I run this now, you can see the answer 6, right? Okay, my voice is breaking for everyone, for few people only, I guess so, right? Mac, please refresh your page. Voice is good now. Okay. For those who don't have the voice or any difficulties, please refresh your page because I'm in the code network. Okay. So I have returned this particular code for Karing. Let me know how many of you are getting this particular thing. Okay. First, try to read this very slowly and very calmly. Then after, please respond if you have some query. If you understood, then yes. If you don't, then no. Okay. I'm giving you some time to understand it. Okay. You have to just read through the code. We are not in hurry. Okay. Take your time. No, you don't have to remember, Joseph. I'll explain that. Okay. So what the thing is happening here? Just put aside everything else for 5 minutes aside. Okay. I'll explain you. I'll explain you how this is working. Okay. So see, first of all, first of all, let me do with the debugger. Okay, because you guys are pro in debugger. Yes or no? Huh? So let's try to do with this with the debugger thing. Okay, so we'll have more clarity. I'll open my Brave. Let me share that. Just a moment. Okay. Let me know once you can see that DevTools of Brave. Is it visible for everyone? Huh, Chrome and Brave both are same. Okay. So if you want me to do in the Chrome, I can do that. Okay. Fine. If I run this out, see right now my code is here. Okay. Since this is a function, okay. So yeah, can you remember something? Can you remember a concept why this is undefined here? Why this is undefined here and why this is a function here? We have explained this in detail. What does this call? What does this call? Like why it is here? It is function here, and why it is undefined right now? We are just having in this particular line. We are just having at number line 8. Number 8 we are right now. No, what are you doing, guys? It's not function expression. It's not lexical environment. It's not the closure. Do you remember? Okay. Let me ask you one more question. Okay. Forget about this for now. Forget about this everything now. If I want to show you that it's okay if you are not recalling the concept, but I think so you have proper clarity of that. Okay. I am pretty much confident on that. Okay. Let's say if I am function call, just tell me the output of this everything. Okay. I'm asking you one question. Maybe ask in your interview or not, I don't know, but please try to focus on this. Okay, so it's console.log. Okay, after that I have my variable where a is equals to 2. Okay, after that if I'm having my where func is equals to inside that I'm having console.log hi from func. Okay, and I'm writing here hi from call. Okay, and okay, and i'm just having I'm just calling it, I'm just writing it here, I'm just calling my func here, I'm just writing my call here, and I'm just printing out my console dot log a here. Okay, So please, guys, tell me the output of this three. Tell me the output of this particular program. Okay. I'm giving you some time. Don't write it and don't try to run this. Okay. Otherwise, you will not able to get the point. Okay. Right now, you will able to find the answer, but in the interview, you don't. Okay. So please try to think about it. What should be the answer of this? We have already covered this in detail. Please try to find the answer of this. Yes, it is function hosting, but I just want to find the answer of this thing. If error, then I want to have the error name. If not error, then I want to have the answer. If you are not clear, then post that I don't know. If you know the answer, then post your answer. Okay, in every cases you have to post something. Please do not try to run this. Just think about it and let me know. Okay, so many of you are telling me that hi from funk, hi from call, undefined. Hi from call, hi from funk, undefined. Hi from call, hi from funk, undefined. Hi from fun, hi from funk. What about the A? Okay, so lexical error, hi from call, not defined. If lexical error, then I want to know the error name. Parag, what is the error name? If there is error, Priyanshu, then what will be the name? Okay, I'm giving you another 2 minutes to think about it. Okay, take your time. Take your time. Think about calmly. Think about the concept. Try to debug this. Okay, think about that. You are an interpreter of this. Okay, try to debug this. If I have put the debugger here, or if I have put debugger in our first line, what should be your approach to handle this? Okay, am I clear with the question, guys? Am I clear with the question? Yes or no? Okay, so I'm not rushing you, I'm not pushing you to give me answer right now. I'm giving you some time, become good amount of time to think. Okay, please think about it, and I'll request you for everyone, don't run it. I'm requesting everyone many times, don't try to run this right now. Think about it and let me know. Okay, Okay, so let me debug this. Okay, so now tell me. Uh, okay, now tell me right now what will be my a. What will be my value of this a right now? I'm standing at the top of that. Currently, what will be my value of a? Currently, what would be my value of this call? I'm saying, I'm repeating my question again. I'm not happy with you all right now, to be honest. What will be my value of this a? Okay, a is my variable. Okay, a is my variable. What would be my value of this call? Call is my function. What will be my this func right now? Because I'm right now standing at the top of the code. Okay, first tell me what will be the value of a quickly. What is the value of a? Undefined. Cool. What is the value of the call? This call. Okay, also undefined. Okay, and what is the value of this func? What is the value of this func right now? I have not executed it. I am just standing at the top of it. Okay. Okay. Let's see with the reason why and what is the value of that. Okay. So see here, I'm opening it. See the value of this uh a. What is a? Undefined, right? Because I said that in the hosting class, please revise it in the hosting class. I don't know the date of it. Please try to some dig down it and try to fetch the date of that. Please watch the recordings of hosting once again. In that particular class, I have explained each and every bits in detail. Okay, so why this a is undefined here? Because I have defined my variable here. Okay, so when the JavaScript runs through the program at very first line, I'm standing at the very first line right now. JavaScript has runs through the program. It has seen what kind of variables and functions are defined here. So can anyone tell me how many variables and functions are here? Like how many variables are there? First of all, just tell me how many functions are there. How many function is there? One function or two function? I'm creating a poll for that. Okay. Okay. Click on true if you are in support of one function. Click on false if you are supporting the two functions. How many functions are there in particular this code? Okay, so 50-50 almost. Okay, 50-50 almost. See, right now if you want to tell me that how many functions are there, okay, so there is only one function, because this will be the function when this assignment operator would be executed. Okay, so when JavaScript runs through the program, this assignment operator it's not gets executed. That is why this a is undefined right now. Okay, that is why this func is also treated as variable, because we have treated var func. Okay, so if you see the func here also, let me show you the func also. Where it is? See, this is the func. Okay, it is also undefined. Okay, yes or no? Okay, now see this particular call. Okay, what is the value of this call? Let's see. See, call is the function code. It is returning the function code. So whenever JavaScript runs through the JavaScript code, it will first scans every functions. If it is my original function or my conventional function, then it will put this particular code in this particular variable or this function. You know, it will store that particular line number where it is written, where it is where it has written. Okay, so uh see the name of the function is also like get executed here, and the line number is also gets stored here. Okay, so whenever this kind of thing it's happening here, you have to be very cautious that this particular line number gets stored here. So when call will be executed, this class the program will be at this particular line, and it will execute this particular code. I'll show you that as well. Okay, apart from that, a is my variable. This assignment has not yet executed, so I don't know what is inside this a. Either it could be a function, either it's null, either it's nan, or it's true, false, or it's a function. I don't know anything about it up except until I'll execute this assignment operator. I don't know what is inside that. Similar to this where func, I whether I have executed this assignment operator, yes or no. I have executed that. No, right? So how can you tell that this is a function or this is a variable, or what is inside that, right? Got it? Okay. That is why a is undefined here. Okay, so my video has got stopped. You can see my video. I think I have shared the screen. है ना? So if I have shared the screen, my video will not be visible to all of you, I guess so, right? Ravina, है ना? Okay. Okay, so it's not issue from mine, Chandrakant. I think so issue from the like from your end only, because everyone else can listen to me. Okay. Okay. Like, yeah, I'll execute that. I'll execute it, Rupesh. Okay. So we are at this particular line right now. Okay. So right now my second line is what? My func. Okay. So it will go in this particular line. It has not gone into that. Why? Can anyone tell me why it has not gone, and it has given me this error? Can anyone tell me? See, I'm doing it once again. Okay, I'm doing it once again. Uh, okay. So right now I am standing here. So can anyone tell me what is the value of this func? As I already told you now that after a assignment only you can tell that this is a function. Okay. Okay. Yes or no? Yes or no? So this is the same case. This is the same case. If you write this, if you write, let me just gone through that. Let me just go through that. Okay. So now let's suppose if I have my a is equals to 5. Okay, and I'm doing this, the same error is replicating here. Yeah na? Yes or no? Right? Okay, so the same is doing here. Why it has given you this error? Because a is a variable, it is not a function, है ना? The error is pretty much clear. Okay, the same case is happening here, that right now your func, you have not executed this lines. That is why your func is treated as variable. You can also see here, since like if it is a function, then it will have some value like this. Okay, this like this function. Okay, but since it has not, that is why you can see here, where is my func? Yeah, you can see here it is undefined, it's not a function, right? है ना? Okay, that is why it is giving you the error of that. But now what is, I'll just remove that and execute it. Okay, let me close that. Okay, what if I will just run this? So now my call is my function, right? So if you want to show that, see that, you can see here, call is my function. It will successfully land here. It will print that. Then after it will come back where it has called, right? Right now, what is my value of a? You have executed this line or not? Have you executed this line? No, right? So A would be what? Undefined, the default value, right? है ना? So if you see here, after the high from call, it will print 2. Why? I'll tell you why. Because don't don't confuse. Okay. Now it will not print. See here. Just a second. I have to remove that. Okay. Now it will see now the value of A undefined. है ना? Because previously I had run my program one time and second time I got executed. That is why for in the on the first execution it has assigned that, and second time if we run that it will print the value. But right now it is my, since it was my first call, it will not print anything. Okay, it will print the default value. Now my execution is here. Okay, now it is assigned with 2. Okay, so now if you print now after that console.log a, it will print successfully 2. Okay, okay, and since we have removed this func call, if you just execute this func call after this, it will execute successfully. Okay, so I'll also show you that. Okay, so let me add here console.log a, here console.log func. Okay, if you do this now, see, call will be executed, a will be executed, log a, this function, and this log. This is a good case. Okay, see here. Okay, 2 and high from func. If I want to clear this out, if I want to remove that, okay, got it. Okay, now just copy this out. I'll just copy this out in the Visual Studio Code. Just wait for a minute. I'm creating a new file for you. New file. Let's save it. Today's date, the 3rd of the June. This is what the hosting that we already seen. Okay, hosting, fine. So now, oh, so what is this, sir? Please explain why second time it prints A. Because we did this na, this console.log. This log is for 2 times. See, okay, fine. Okay. So now let me stop this out and okay, let me share the one note once again. Okay, let's come back to the currying. Oh, so sorry, I had written the program right for currying. Fine. So let me go back to the Mozilla. Okay. So this was our code. This was our code, guys. Yeah. Okay. So we tried to understand that. Let me copy that. Let me go in the Chrome once again to debug that. Okay. So this is my DevTools of Chrome. Okay. You can see that. You can see that now. Everyone. Huh? So now if I do that debugger, so right now, please tell me what will be my value of add. First of all, please tell me quickly what will be my value of this add. Everyone, please answer. What will be my value of add? Ritik, why 9? Nitish, Nena, why 9? See, I already told you, na. See, it has executed the code or not? It has executed this or not? Why undefined? it has executed this or not. Right now my debugger is here. Guys, please say yes or no. My debugger is here. It has executed or not? Yes, right? So since it has executed, this variable will be replaced with function. Yes or no? है ना? So if you hover on add, you can see the function kind of behavior. Okay, so I want to show you that. See, add is what? Add is now what right now? My function, है ना? It is my function ना? See, the line number is also logged here. ठीक है? So it is my function. If I place this debugger above this add function, it will not act as a function. Similar to this, what is the value of this curry add right now? Please tell me what will be my value of this curry add right now? Undefined ना? ठीक है? It is pretty interesting and loving, right? JavaScript is love. People, please don't complicate it. है ना? Okay? ठीक है, because we have it is not executed it. ठीक है, it has executed that. If it has executed that, then it will know that this is my function. Okay, so it will act similarly to the add. Okay, so right now if you see for curry add, let me show you that also. See, this curry add is what? Undefined na? Right, है ना? Okay, and this addition is also act as my variable, so addition is also what? Undefined. ठीक है, so hosting concept is clear now. Do I need to revise it once again? ठीक है, it is highly important concept, guys. Please don't miss out that. Okay, now, so I have revised entire concept of hosting. Okay, in just 10 to 15 minutes. Cool. Now, so yeah, anyway, it is okay. It's okay since it happened like for the very first time in my class. I'm not expecting this kind of thing to be happen in future. If I have covered anything in the past lecture, it should be known to all of you. Not a single people I want in my class that do not know what is covered. If you are not attending the class due to anything, due to any reason, you should watch the recording. You should ask that particular doubt to TA, if not with me. Okay. I hope this is clear, and I am very strict about it. Okay, I'll not allow anyone to not answering this kind of concept because this is highly, highly, highly important concept. Okay, otherwise I'm pretty much friendly. I'm pretty much comfortable with all of you, but I don't want to repeat this like once again in my class. If I have covered anything, it should be known to you. It should be there in your mind because we are not like I'm not forcing you to mug up anything, right? Do I like did I tell any single point of time except like that concept will be covered in future, except that did I told you that it will like you will have to remember that it is a syntax, it is that like that you have to remember that by any way? Did I told you that like that? No na, I have explained everything. Why this like this is the case and why this is a case. I explained about the JavaScript name also, right? Before it was ECMAScript, then after they have moved to the JavaScript. I have also told you the reason for that. So from that we have started, है ना? We have not directly started with the JavaScript variables, operators and all, right? So please guys focus. This is like most important concepts, okay? So it's okay, it happened for the very first time. I can understand that you have also your personal commitments, okay? But please try to cover it, okay? No problem. So yeah, now let's execute. So this add 234 would be the normal function, है ना? So it will print what? 9, right? Now if I want to have in my curry add, if I want to execute this my curry add function, then okay, it will execute like this. Okay, so right now it has just defined here, it has called. Okay, that is why after this it has gone here and then after gone here. Okay, now since you can see the value of this sum, if you want to see the value of this a right now, sum or okay, so sum is what? My a comma b comma c, है ना? Okay, because I have executed this entire function, that is why I am able to fetch this. Okay, then after if I'm going again with the okay, we'll do one thing for this. We'll do one thing for this. Just a second. I'll put the debugger here as well. I'll put the debugger as here as well. Anyway, it will come, but I want to show you something else. Now, if I run this out, this is a pretty simple thing. It will return 9. Then after it will go here, it will assign this function to curryAdd. It will go here. Now it is actually called curryAdd with add. Okay, what is my add here? What is my add here? Add is my function now, which has three arguments a plus b plus c, right? You know, so I have passed my entire function to here. Okay, so you can also tell that currying using higher order function, currying using the concept of higher order function, right? Because since it is accepting the function as an argument, okay, it is what? It is my function and this is my argument. So this function curryAdd, it's accepting the another function which is add as a argument. Yes or no? Okay, so I can tell you now that this currying will use the function higher order function in internally, right? Okay, now if I press F11, then it will go here. Since my sum is what? My entire function, you know, in this particular a right now it will not have anything. If you go like this particular for return a will be executing this much, this return b would be executing this much, and this return will return to this function, it will return to this function, it will return to this function. That is how your execution flow will happen. Let me show you. Okay, so this a would be, oh, so sorry. I have closed it. Just a second. I'm sharing my screen once again. I have closed that. Let me see it's there or not. Yeah, it's there. It's there. So no worries. All right. So you can see my screen now. You can see my screen now. Okay. So we were at this particular point. So after, yeah, we had this particular thing A. After this, it will come to this particular point. Like it will not wait for this. It will come to B. Then after it will come out, it will go to C, it will return, it will execute the return thing. Okay. So right now, if you see here, your B is 2. Your B is nothing but your this one. Okay. So you can see right now your B is 2. Okay. Now, now, if you go again way here, if you execute that, if you try to run this, it has called the actual function with the A, B, and C. Right? It will call that particular function, it will return here. That will particular thing will return to B, that particular thing will return to A. And it will show you the output by that. Okay, so if you see here, the output is 6. So it's the same case what we have seen in the recursion. है ना? Sum is predefined function. No, you can like sum we have passed. So sum here we have defined sum, and we have passed this particular thing add. Add is also a function. You can see here. So this entire function will be passed as a argument here, and this particular function will be called here. Okay, so if I want to show you this with the diagram, of it, so it will be something like this. Okay, so see, we have this particular function a. Okay, so if I want to go with this particular example only, then I'll just copy it, I'll paste it here, I'll paste this here. Just a second. Huh. Okay. So now here, if you want to execute it, so how this will happen internally is, uh suppose, let's say that for an example, if you want to go to the stationery shop, okay, like to buy a cake, or to take your car, or to get your pen. Okay, so let's say for an example, if you want to get your pen, okay, so what you will do, you will first go to the stationery shop. Like your end target is to go to the stationery shop and buy a pen. Okay, so for that, first you need to take your car, then you need to go to ATM to withdraw your money, then you need to go to your shop, right? Okay. So if you directly write your function, if you directly uh just a second, I'm taking my tab. So for this particular case, if you directly write your function as function get pen, if you just write this, in this particular case we have just written this, right? Add ABC, straightforward function. Okay. So if you just do that now, so let's say internally I'm doing what, I'm getting my car, I'm going to my ATM. Okay. I'm withdrawing my money, and then I'm going to the go to shop to buy a pen. Okay. So this will include this for another inner function. So let's suppose after getting your car, if you are going into a ATM, you went to the ATM successfully. If you try to withdraw your money, you felt that, oh, I don't have my money in my account right now. I don't have sufficient money to withdraw. Okay. So this will be false. Okay. This will show you error, this will not get executed anyway. Okay. This get pen will show you some random error that withdraw money is not defined, or withdraw money have some error. Okay. It will show some generic error, it will not show any error with respect to this function. You will not know any particular point of time that this function is having error. But instead of that, if you have used this currying function, okay, so say, let's say if you are doing this with the three arguments. Okay. So let's suppose you are passing your add 2 comma 3 only. Okay. In this particular add function, so right now it will give you output of what, 2 plus 3 plus undefined, right? Okay. So it will show you some improper output. But if you do the same thing here, if you do the same thing here, then this particular return C, this return C would not get executed. Okay. So it is basically checking that this return A should go to return B, this return B should go to return C. It should execute, it should execute this first, then after it should return to B, it should return to A. This is how the flow is happening here, right? Right. So for an, so instead of this, instead of all of this, you need to, you need to divide your operation. Okay. So these are the four steps. You need to make a separate function for all of four. Okay. Okay. Right now I have, although I have defined all four function, but I was trying to tell you that this is a this is not actually a function, this is a process that is written here. So basically this would be like what, how thousands lines of code. Get your car, get your ATM, withdraw your money, go to your shop. If anyone will break, you will be lost. Okay. But instead of that, if you have defined your function like get pen, inside that you will call just for one function. Okay. Let's say get car. Inside that, first you will return some argument of that. Here you will call get pen, it will internally will call another function, return B, then the second thing, then return C, then another thing. So anyone would break, suppose your first will break, then this will not get executed anyway, है ना? ठीक है? Yes or no? Right? है ना? So this is why we try to bifurcate all of our task to find our error easily. Okay, that is one more, one example, like one more thing that you need to take care of. Now the second thing is that, now the second thing is that uh, if I have here, so let's take this example once again so that you can be able to understand that. So right now this this a this particular curry add function, this particular curry add function will take this particular argument. Okay. We'll see that first of all here it's written as return A, but you don't know what will be the output of that. So it will go to return B. You don't know what is the output of that. You will go to return C. It will sum A comma B comma C. So for an example, if you pass 1, 2, 3, so it will give you what, 3 plus 2 plus 1. if you pass here, okay, so it will give you what, 6. Okay, so this output is 6. Okay, it will be this output, this 6 would be returned to this. Here also b will be get 6, here also it will be 6. Okay, so it's like recursion. In recursion also, if you have observed, then your output will be go to the its previous step, it will be go to its previous step until it will reach to the caller, right? You remember the recursion, how it was happening, right? Yeah, some will get 6 finally. Okay, so now if I want to just show you one another example to get you the better idea of that, then what I'll do, I'll just go to the developer tools. Okay, so I'll just remove this up, and I'll define one function of const multiplication is equals to, I'm passing one argument here, x. See the code carefully first. Then I'm doing what, console.log. I'm doing inside log. So log is another way to debug thing. Because since I'm having my Mozilla right now, I'm inside my Mozilla right now, I'm doing console, I'm not doing with the debug. Okay, you will also get to understand by this. It's return y. Okay, then after here, I'm consoling it once again, that return y. So you will get to understand like what is called when, okay, inside y. And here if I am doing uh, return z, okay, return z, inside that I will be doing that console dot log inside z. Okay, okay, fine. And I'm calling my, I'm right now I'm not passing any input in this. Okay, so I'll just do console dot log. I will be calling this multiplication with three arguments right now, any three arguments, because anyway it will not be getting executed because I haven't returned anything. Okay, I'm just consoling it and just showing you how the code flow is executing. Okay, so now it will first go with the x, it will print this, it will go with the y, it will print this, it will go with the z, it will print this. After then I'll show you what is the thing. Okay, so see, it's inside x, inside y, inside z. Okay, so right now we know that first of all it is getting executed, it is going here and it is going here, right? Yes or no? Till now you are clear? Till now you are clear? Okay, why argument, yeah, I I have just passed my argument because it is accepting three arguments, right? So if you do with this, let's say if you just do with this, okay, right, like this, okay, let's see what will be the output. Okay, what will be the output like of this? Inside x, after that there is no argument, right? There is no argument, right? So from here it will not get executed. Okay, okay, so that is why I have passed two arguments more. Okay, so if I just do this, you can see inside x, inside y, and now it has not gone to z because there is no z, right? That is the best case of this, because if you don't have anything then it will not run. Okay, so if I have this, then see inside x, inside y, inside z. Now what I'm doing now, I will be doing one another thing here, that is called return x into y into z. Okay, so I'm doing this here, and I'm calling this my function by this console.log 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, okay, now if you run this, see, first of all it has gone here inside x, inside y, inside z. Then after it did this because right now you have every arguments. Okay, okay, you can also do that by passing three arguments, 1 comma 2 comma 3, and just write here except this. Okay, okay, you can also do that, but over that if you don't pass any argument, it will not find it. So what I mean to say is this console const multiplication ordinary. Okay, so if I do this, and I'm accepting A, B, C. Here I'm doing return or else like console dot log A into B into C. Okay. So if you print this out like this, multiple ordinary 1, comma 2, comma 3. Okay. So if you do this, you can observe this both output are same. So first of all, I have called multiple ordinary, that is why it has printed 6. But if I don't pass this 3, if I just pass 1, 2, then C will print nan. Okay, but it should not, है ना? Instead of that, if I don't pass here, if I do like this, then see here also it is printing nan, but I have passed empty parameter, that is why it is doing that. If I don't pass it, then see what is the output. It will print inside X, inside Y, and it will not go further. है it will not go further. So you can easily identify your error, that there is some error in this particular function or in the passing arguments. Here you will not know whether your inputs are wrong, whether your logic are wrong, or what is wrong with your function. Am I clear? Now, yes, Priyanshu, previously it was add, right now it's multiplication. Am I clear? Okay. So you can also do this in very first line like this, but it is not, it will not do the proper thing. So by function currying, it will ensure that whatever you have, whatever you want to require, whatever you want and whatever you require, it will be there. Okay. So suppose if you want to do your task here, before that it will ensure that you will have X, Y, and Z. Okay. Otherwise it will not get executed. Here it will not take care of anything. Okay. Now, yeah, I'll do the debugger also. Okay. So if I want to show the debugger, okay, so let me do that here only. Okay. So first of all, it will go here inside X, will be go outside because this return Y. Okay. Now it will be go here with the to take the second thing. Okay. Right now I have not passed the second thing. Okay. So, and right now it will take 2. Okay. So that is why it will just a second. This sucks. I don't know. Just a second. I'm copying this out, and this is very crucial, because in the in this particular debugging mode of Mozilla, I don't know why every time it is not doing properly. Let me share the developer tools. Okay, you can see my developer tools, guys. Everyone, everyone can see the. Okay. Now, if I do that, if I oh, so sorry. Just a second. I shared. Okay. Now you can see my developer tools, right? Okay. So if I do that, see now X, then it will go to take the second parameter. It will come back. I am pressing F10. That is why it is not coming back. Just a second. I'll run again. Right now my X is 1. It will go here. It will come back here. My Y is 2. It will go inside Y because I have this 2. Okay. Because I have this 2. Now it will go again. It will find that it does not have any third argument. It will come back. It will not come back. And it will just print that whatever is left. Okay. That is why you will have the output like this. Am I clear? Priyanshu, the same case will happen in the previous case. Okay. If you want, I can do that as well. Okay. So you knew now that why it has come back. It has come back to take the second call, because see there are two calls here, 1 and 2. If I do the same thing, okay, so my doubt is here you are returning XY, previous code returning X. Okay, so now in the previous code, if you see in the previous code, we are not returning A comma B comma C or X comma Y comma Z. In the previous code, we called this function sum a comma b comma c. That is nothing but your add, because if you see here, this add is nothing but your sum. It is passing here. You remember the previous class, pass by value, pass by reference. So we are passing your function here, है ना? This function is sum. Okay, so right now this add is nothing but your sum. Okay, this sum is calling here. Okay, so let me debug that as well. Why it is not debugging? Let me put this here. It is not debugging. Anything is debugging right now? Yeah, that is why. Okay, so now let me run this. Okay, fine. So let's do that. So right now it's pretty simple thing. Okay, now curry add. This add will, now this is called, this add is passed into the sum. Now it will go and it will find what is there inside your a. Okay, a is pretty much clear that it is a is what, 1. Okay, it will go to b, it will take 2, it will go to c. Now it is called this particular add function. See, it has come here, you know, and it will do a plus b plus c. It will come back and will return everything. So at the end of the day, it is not, it is doing nothing but your normal thing, but with some precautions, right? है ना? It will ensure that you has to have this a, b, and c in order to run that. Yes or no? Cool. ठीक है? So I hope now it is pretty much clear to you, and you can also explain this particular example to your seniors or to your fellow mates. Okay? No, it is not mandatory. How get adds 2 3 44? It's simple. It's like the same way. You can also pass here, na? You can pass 2 3 34 44 anything. Yeah, it will take one by one in, yeah, the same thing. Okay, you can also Vishal, you can also read through the definition what we have written. Okay, now it will be pretty much clear to everyone. Okay, crystal clear, na? Okay, let me show you the definition as well. So please read everyone the definition now. It will be much more clear to you now. Yeah, Nilanjan, will take dinner break now. Okay, in just 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, so this is the particular thing what we have to cover in function currying. Okay, this is the case, and after the break we will see some more interesting thing with the currying and with another topic. Okay. Hariharan, it has substituted that. Let me show you the code of add also. I think, yeah, this is the code of add. Okay. So whenever you do this sum ABC na, at this particular point you have ABC values. Okay. So it will nothing but, see here I have passed this add function as an input of sum. Okay. Sum will be your add now. Okay. So in this particular A, B, and C, now you have value of what? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so it will pass here and it will get add here, it will return back to here, it will return to b, it will return to a, and then finally it will be get printed. Okay, yes Joseph, that's correct. If you pass single yeah, we will pass single arguments only in currying concept. Okay, so you can also see here that currying is a technique of evaluating a function with multiple arguments into a sequence of function with a single arguments. Okay, so when of like there are some ways to do advanced currying also, but we'll not cover that. Okay, right now, because we will not digest that. Yeah, it is also, it is only having the single argument. You have to bifurcate, you have to divide your function of multiple arguments in the single arguments. Okay, so I hope I'm clear with this. So with this particular note, I'm taking a break right now. Okay, so we will be taking break now till 10 o'clock. Okay, so we'll be back at 10. Okay, take your dinner and come back. Am I audible, guys? Am I audible? Yes, hi Dipanshu. We are back. Am I audible? Invisible? Okay. So yeah, let's start now. Okay. So since we have covered the function currying, in that we have seen that. Wait a second. Yeah. So in that we have seen that this is nothing but your function call. This is nothing but your first function call, which will be returned what? One will be assigned to A. This will be your second function call. Then after you saw that after result return A, it has come back to fetch this argument. This will be copied here. Then after it will go here and will be copied to scene. And it will do this for some. It will go here. It will go here. It will from this it will return back to here and will return 6 to this, then this, and it will finally. Okay, ठीक है. When you use function as a normal function won't be work as a closure. What does that what does that mean? So if you want to tell, like you are telling me that suppose if I use the normal function here, closure or not, है ना? So yeah, so see what was the in that we had used the nested function, right? And in that particular thing, and then in that thing we used the one particular concept of what that particular function was told, returning a function, right? In that we had return. So that was particularly returning the function along with its lexical scope, right? Oh, audio is breaking. Just a second. Just a second. Wait a minute. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Okay, you can hear me now, right? Since I have shared the then that's why you cannot see me, right? You can see the OneNote. Can you see the OneNote? Okay. So I was telling you that what was the closure? In the closure, we had nested function, and we were returning a function, right? So that is why it has formed a closure along with its lexical scope, right? Yes or no? So same thing if you implement here, it will also form a closure. Okay. Now now I want to show you one more thing to here. So till now everyone is clear. Till now is everyone is clear. Okay. Okay. Of this particular part 2, it will basically called as, we also had covered this in the previous sessions. I don't know how many times we have covered this. Okay. Okay. So we are covering right now the anonymous function. Okay. We will cover now the anonymous function. So can anyone tell me we had covered the anonymous function or not? So let me write first a definition of it for those who don't know recall that, they will able to recall this. So anonymous function in JavaScript are those functions without any identifier or name to refer it. Can anyone anticipate by this? Okay, so Priyanshu is asking one thing. We are passing arguments to create or add function. Okay, so see here, Priyanshu here. In this particular thing, let me remove all of that so that you can. Okay, so we were calling this. Okay, so we had called this console.log addition 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, it is basically calling what curry add. Yes or no? And add is what here? The function, right? Right. So in this particular thing, the your arguments would be passed 1, 2, and C is 3. Okay. So every time at a time it will just execute one function. Like let's say for the first time it will just call this one. That is why it has copied one here. Second time it will again come back to here, because if you call a function, it will come back of the calling thing. Okay. So one is called, so it will do jump here and it will come back to here where it was called. Then after two will be called. Okay. Two will be copied here since two is your argument. Then after C will be, this three will be called. C will be copied into the three. Then after this particular sum ABC will be called, it will internally call this. A will be copied to 1, B will be 2, C will be 3. It will do sum of it and it will come back here. It will come back here where it was called and it will print here console.log addition 1, 2, 3. Okay, Priyanshu, I'm clear now. Am I clear? Priyanshu, am I clear? Am I audible, guys? Yes or no? Uh, Marker is not visible. Plus, audio was breaking. Audio was breaking for everyone. I have changed my network to 5G. It should not break now. Audio is clear now. Okay, so I was telling you that Priyanshu. See, I'll change my marker and I'll tell everything once again. Don't worry, I'll explain this everything once again. Okay. So, see, in this particular point, you are calling this uh, addition curry add. Okay, so addition equals to curry add. In this particular thing, your addition, this 1 comma 2 comma 3 will be called. Okay, so it will be called here. So after the first iteration, your A will be copied to what? 1. Then after it will come back here, it will call the second function, that is B of this is 2. Okay, so B will be copied with 2. Then after it will come back here where it was called, the function will return, come back to return of when it was called. It will be right now will be executing this third function, which is my function 3, that is value having 3. This C will be now 3. So A is what? 1, B is what? 2, C is what? 3. So with this parameter, it will call this particular function. So it will call 1 plus 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 6, 6. 6 will be returned here. Okay, 6 will be returned here. It will be returned to B, it will be returned to A, it will be returned to, this will be returned to when it was called. So it was called what? Where? This addition. Okay, in this addition, an addition function will be called here. So that is why here it has printed 6. So these are the process what is happening in the backend. Am I clear now? Any particular sorts of doubt now, Priyanshu or anyone? Okay, so Rupesh, the use of the function carrying is simple. That in this particular case, let me show you. Okay, fine. So I'll copy that. I have shown you. I'll copy from that only. Uh, Where is my function of that? I haven't closed it as far as I remember. Okay, so I'll okay. So Priyansh is also having okay. Let me get you back. Let me get back to that. Okay, Priyanshu. So we are at this particular point. Okay, so Priyanshu, please see carefully that you are asking me. You are clear, but we are passing some in argument. So how we getting one, two, three? Okay, that was I was explaining to you that you have you have passed your add function. Yes or no? This add function will be copied to here without abc. Okay, since I have not passed in the 1 2 3 in this particular function. Yes, right? है ना? Now I'll tell you how this abc will be copied here. Okay, since I haven't passed it in my function call here. Okay, so now see here that see here that this one is my one function. This is my this this is my second function. This is my third function. These three are my individual functions. Okay, okay. Now if you see here, then this return c is my one function. This is my second function. This is my first function, right? So whenever you will execute this now, then this return a, that means it will first call what? The first function, right? Now that is why this one argument was passed into this a. Okay, so if you want to see that, you will just do one thing. You just do one thing. Okay, after that, just print it out. Console dot log a. Okay, and also print inside a. That would work. That would work. B. This is B. C and C. Okay. Let me, and here I'll print it out. Console dot log. Okay. Let me not print it here. Okay. If I'll run this, see here. First of all, first of all, it is printing what? 9, because I have did this. Okay, normal function. Then after inside a, that is 1. Why? Because it has went to here, it has fetched this one argument here and 1. Conside b, b is what? My 2. C is what? My 3. Now, and after that it has called what? It has called what? Sum abc. Okay, so it has gone here, a plus b plus c, that is 6. It has returned to this, it has returned to this, it has returned to this, and it will return to this one. Okay, that is why it has printed that. But now if I just change a little bit, like console.log a comma b comma c, every time I'll print abc. Okay, just to just to have more clarity. Okay, a comma b comma c, it will work now. It will do my job. Yes or no? You will be clear now by this. Okay, so if I do refresh my page, if I do control L, if I do that, so b is not defined right now. See, because after a I'm getting b. Okay, b is not defined yet, है ना? So it will not get printed, right? Because it has to go here, and after b is defined here, if you see, है ना? So if you think that at this particular point of time, after this, after executing this, if I'm having excess of 1 2 3, then this is wrong. Okay, because here I have no excess of a, I have no excess of b and c. Similarly goes for c. If you want to see, then see, if I'm just doing with a and c here. Okay, if I do that, and see, c is also not defined, right? Because I have not executed the c yet, and I have not gone here to execute my, to get my value of c. Yes, right? but but similar case will be here. Here I'm printing ab, So here I'm printing A, here I'll print AB, and here I'll print ABC. Okay. So now see this. Inside A is 1, inside B is 1, 2, inside C is 1, 2, 3. Am I clear now? Any single point of doubt? Priyanshu, right? Okay. Okay. If you want to see it better way, if you want to see it in more like in more detail, then you will just do this. Put the debugger. Okay. Let's see. After that, if you see here, it will come back here, right? So at this particular point of time, my A is nothing, my A is not have anything. Okay, it will come back. I have pressed F10, that is why it has not printed. Let me go back. See, it has come back, right? So A is what, my 1, है ना? Then after, again it has gone here. To see my cursor, where is my cursor? It is not here, it is here, because it is fetching 2, right? It will come back here. See my cursor, where is my cursor? See the blinking cursor, can you see that? Can you see the blinking cursor? Everyone, before it was not here, it was here. And at previous time it was here. Am I right? Right? So right now it is fetching the value of 3. Okay? So right now if you hover into the A, then it is what? If you want to see now, then you can just go here. It is, if it's not seen properly in the console. Where is my ABC? Okay, do one thing. I'll just print out A here. Okay. So A is not defined. Okay, yeah, because it is inside, it is inside that. Okay, it is inside that. If I go here, then I can able to get it. Okay. See, my A is what? 1, B is what? 2, and C is what now? It's 3. Okay. Okay. I was outside of that. That is why it was not equal to access that. Okay. Now I can able to access that as well. If you do here A, then you can see here the value of it's 1. Right. Am I clear? So now if I print this ABC, 1, 2, this is what, 2, this is what, 3. Okay. Now if you do this return sum ABC, this sum is nothing but your add. So it will go here in this particular thing. See, this was your main doubt, right? How it was going into this. Right? So it has copied all of the values of this A, B is 2, and this 3. Okay. It will return back here. Okay. It will return back here and it will print. I think it is somewhat similar to what I have explained you orally, right? Am I clear now? Okay, perfect, cool, crystal clear na everyone? Okay na? Okay. Now, should I move further? I don't want to rush, na? So if you are clear with this, everyone, then after I'll move to the next concept, that is anonymous function. Otherwise, I'll explain once again with different example. If you want me to do that, am I clear, everyone? Okay. Okay. So now, this is my second thing. This is my the one more concept of the today's anonymous function. We have covered this many times in our previous lectures. Okay. Okay. Now the okay. So Joseph is telling return sum, how it is doing addition. So see, Joseph, return sum, it's nothing but, let me show you. Okay. So this was my just a second. I am pasting this. We'll do that. Okay, here. Okay, for later use. Now this was my program, right? So Joseph, how this sum is what? Can you tell me what is this sum? What is this sum? Joseph, can you please tell me what is this sum? Joseph, are you there? I'm explaining for you only because for everyone else they are clear. Please raise your hand and come into the chat box. Joseph, it's parameter. This is a parameter, but this is what? This is add, right? So add is what? My function, right? Okay. So the function is, this is nothing but my function. Okay. So this function is passing as my parameter here, and it is something used as my function here with the arguments a comma b comma c. Okay. So now if you get the a b c value, this a value, this b value, and this c value, then after I'm calling this sum abc function, there is nothing but this one. Okay. Okay. This a b c value would be copied into that, as I have already shown you in debug. Okay. So this will be doing plus operator, plus sign. Okay. So it is doing nothing but my sum. This add value, what is my add value now? 1 2 3, that is 6. 6 will be returned here, it would be returned here, it would be returned here, and it would be anyway returned to the function call that is here, this one. Okay, Joseph, right? Okay, cool. Now this is my anonymous function. I have used multiple times this anonymous function in our class. Okay, so anonymous function in JavaScript are those functions without any identifier to refer it. That does mean that without any name, right? So we have used any function without name. Does we like do we do have like do we have this kind of functionality we have used in JavaScript? We did use in past or not? Functions without the its name. It reminds me to the Game of Thrones. A man that does not have any name, na? Something like that dialogue. I don't know the. I don't remember that. Okay, a man has no name or that kind of thing, na? So every time I come across this kind of things, anonymous function or anonymous things, I use that example. Okay, okay. Now, so if I want to give you an example of that, then it's pretty simple. Okay, so it's pretty simple. So I'll just go back to, yeah, developer tools. All right. So can you see the developer tools now? Can you see the developer tools, everyone? I don't like it. Okay, just a second. Let me go to the Mozilla. I have closed Mozilla. Just a second. I'm reopening that. Okay, can you see the Mozilla now? The console box of Mozilla. Okay. Okay. So if I do that, that function, uh, as I said that it does not have any name, so I'll just pass it my text, any argument. Okay, this is my argument. This is not my name. Okay, and here I will do console dot log hi. Okay, okay, okay. So this is the example of my anonymous function. Okay, so do you see any name here? Now, if I have normal function, let's say print name. Okay, this is my function name. Inside that I was passing my text, and inside that I was printing console.log hi. I am intentionally printing hi. Okay, hi from print name, and here I will be printing hi from anonymous. What do you think? Hi from anonymous. Okay, so what do you think it will print? Okay, the both of them. If I call this, can I call that? Can I call that? How? How can I call this function? This function, how can I call this? How can I call this? Yes, print name. Okay. Then after I can pass anything, right? Like uh, default or test. Okay, anything. Okay. Okay. So I can, if I do call this, let me cut this. If I do call this, will print what? Hi from print name. है ना? Right? Okay. Now tell me, how can I call this? How to call this? So here we have called it with the name. So it's like the same thing. You are going to the like some restaurant and you are calling a waiter by its name. Okay. Okay. But here the waiter does not have any name since the restaurant is automatic. You have to go to the like order platform and you have to place your order. Okay. No one is there to take your order. It's a thing like that. Okay. So if you want to call that, then you have to call immediately after function definition. Okay. So if you do that now, if you run this, okay, see it's showing you some error. Function statement requires a name. Okay, so it's asking you for a name because it knows that without name you cannot even call afterwards. Okay, that is why it is like without any use. Okay, if you have this particular thing and you cannot use that, how what is the meaning of, what is the sense of keeping that in memory, right? That is why it has shown some error. But if you want to call that, then after this function definition you have to call that by this. Okay, let's say the same thing, parameter I'm passing test or relabel. Okay, this kind of thing. If I refresh it and if I run this now, see it's still asking you for a name. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why it's still asking? Because if you, let me tell you, since I think I haven't taught you this, I'll tell you this, but it's common sense. Okay, see, it's printing what? Hi from print name, hi from anonymous, and now it is printing what? Uncaught type error. Print name is not a function. Why it is giving you like that? है ना? You have printed it correctly, right? You have printed it correctly, right? Let's put the semicolon as well. Okay, and let's refresh it. Let's run it. Cool. Okay, fine. Am I clear? Okay, so now I'll just change it. I'll just change it like this. Hi from whatever you will pass it, like this. Okay, like text here, and here also I'll pass my text. Okay, so here I have passed my text as what? Test. Here I have passed as relabel. Okay, let's run it. See, and I have to put this space also. Okay, let's refresh it and let's run it. Okay, okay. Yes, it is something also called as immediately invoked function, because after, like, I'll tell you what is immediately invoked function for those one who have not attended those lecture on that particular thing. I have explained IIFE or EC. Okay, so this is a way of doing with the anonymous function. And if you are working with, like, say, let's say like this array dot map, inside that it was accepting a function, है ना? So there were two methods to define a function for map, है ना? First one was you can either write like this print name. Second one was you will write here the function. Okay, okay. So what does this call? What does this call? This is also called as arrow function, but this is also called as an anonymous. Like this function does not have any name, right? So it is what called anonymous function, है ना? It is also a higher order function, okay? Because this function is accepting function as an argument, right? ठीक है, okay. And for your reference, for your future reference, that any function, this function is accepting this function as argument, so this function is called as my higher order function. And this function who is passed as an argument in another function, this function is called as my callback function. Okay, it will be taught to you in future just as like higher order function, but just for a reference, since I have taught you this, okay, that's why I'm just calling you that this is something known as my callback function. Okay, what is that, we'll see in the future, but you know that. Okay, you know the concept, you just don't know the name of the concept. Okay, that's the same thing, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, okay. Oh, semicolon error, please explain. Okay, so in that what we did this. Okay, we did this, right? Here it is calling what, print error, print name is not a function. Okay, so if you debug that, it will come into this, it will print what hi from text, you know. Then after it will come there, and it has come out, and it will print the error because you haven't printed any semicolon here. So suppose if you put semicolon here, try to run this. Okay, so that there was a issue of semicolon only. Just a second, if you run that, if you put semicolon here, it will again run it. Okay, so after this you have to put the semicolon. Okay, don't, if you don't, then since we are starting with this, okay, since we are starting with this is what my enclosed version of my function. Okay, so since you are starting with this, it will not identify that it is a part of my, it is part of, like it is same like function carrying like this, like add, then we had one, then we had two. Okay, so it is similar to that also, like see, after this test you are passing this, so similar to that, it is accepting. Okay, that is why it is printing like that. So it is expecting that, it is expecting that you have passed something like this. Okay, but you haven't, है ना? That is why you have to put the semicolon here, right? I hope you are getting what was the error. Okay, so now, so this was all about that. We will move to something else. So yeah, this concept is like pretty much familiar to you, that is like don't have to know explain that as well. Arrow function. Okay, how many times we have used, that is countless, you know, without parameter in anonymous it is possible. So please try it, Parag, we have tried it already, you know. So please check it, is it possible or not. You want some time to implement that, you want some time to play with that, you want some time to play with that. Okay, so please do that. I'm giving you some time for that also. Okay, you can also play with that, but for just for your reference, if you do without this parameter, then it will throw error of like the function is not proper, or like syntax error. Okay, it is not a proper way to define your function. It will give you some error of like function statement requires a name. Okay, so something like that it will show you, I think so. So variable at end is an argument of IIF. Yes. Okay, so I'm just giving you 2 minutes to play around with that, or else just do one thing. Just do one thing. Everyone, just please stop. Please stop. Just do one thing right now. Let me complete that, this arrow function, because arrow function is already what we have seen, right? After this arrow function, I'll just explain again the IIFE to you, all of you, and then after you can practice what you want. Okay? Is it making sense? Is it making sense, people? Okay, because we will not cover any new concept today, we'll just cover what we have learned right now. Okay, whatever we have to learn, we already learned it, just like currying and all. Okay, so now this arrow function, so this arrow function we already seen multiple times in our project. Suppose if we have like this function, then we have func, in that we have a comma b, it is returning me a plus b. Okay, and inside that, uh, suppose I want to convert that this function to arrow function, then what I'll do, I'll just do my const response is equals to then my arrow function I'll write. So how to write my arrow function? I'll do arrow. Inside this I'll pass my parameter. So what is my parameter here? A comma b. I'll write here. And what is whatever my logic is, I'll write right here. So my logic is what? Return a plus b. Since it's just having one line, I can omit this curly braces. I can omit this return. I can omit this. I can omit this. So what is left? A plus b, right? So I just have to write a plus b. So this entire thing enclosed into this just one thing. Okay, this is a beauty of the arrow function. Okay, okay. So and yeah, one more thing. This is already we have seen. So there's nothing much to discuss about it. Now you have heard of that in the JavaScript your function is something called as a first class citizen. I think so. At that day, someone has asked me that, right? At that day, I explained about the IIFE and this arrow function. Yes, है ना? Yes or no? Right? So, what is the function? First class citizen. That does mean that it is having three properties. First is we can store functions in variables. Okay, just a second. I have to click this up. Just a second. Okay. So first of all, it's like we can store our function in variables, and second property is we can pass functions as an argument, right? Functions as an argument. Cool. The third thing is we can return any function as an result. Okay, now we have encountered this three. Yes or no? At that particular point of time we had not covered this, right? That is why I told you that we will cover in the future. Okay, that is the reason why I haven't explained that. I explained the IFE, but I haven't explained that because of that. Okay, so what does I mean by that is, like, for first example, if I want to cite an example of the first thing, that is what my we can store function is a variable, then we can do something like this, that no const add is equals to uh, a comma b, then we have we can return a plus b. Okay, okay. We can also do like const pass, then here we can pass add. Okay, add was my function. Okay, and I can do here, let's say return add 1 comma 2. Okay, I can also do like that, const function, let's say func is equals to a comma b. Here I can do return empty thing, empty parameter, and here I can do console dot log what a plus b plus 2. This three things I can do pretty much comfortably, right? है ना? ठीक है? So because of that, the function in a JavaScript is something called as a first class city. Okay, ठीक है? Now, the thing I want to show you now is something called as uh, since we have covered our function first class citizen. Okay, now yeah. So now I can cover something called as IFE. Okay, so it's something known as my immediately invoked function expressions. Okay. Okay, it is nothing but ifs are the functions that are executed like that are executed immediately after being defined. Okay, so after define, it has to call immediately. Okay, so we can make functions as ify by wrapping it with the parameters and adding a following like adding a pair of parentheses at the end. Okay, so let's say if I have my function like this, let's say I had my function like this. Okay, as I already shown you, like this. Okay, so if you call, if you want to be as a immediately invoke function, then you need to do that, and you need to enclose that. Okay, so if you do that, then and then only it will be enclosed with the ify. It is commonly used in the jQuery, and it will be also used in the async programming, such as if you will in the future will be learning the set timeout and all. Over there, this will be like highly usable. Okay, so what is set timeout? You don't have to worry about right now. Okay, okay. How return empty? What does that mean, Niranjan? I think so. That is earlier comment, if I'm not wrong. In previous, okay. What does that mean in previous? This one, this one you are talking about above. Okay, this one. Okay, you are talking about this. Okay, this is not empty. This is my parameter. Okay, so inside that you have to pass a parameter. So right now I don't have to pass my parameter since I have already declared here. Okay, so it can have access here. Okay, that is why I haven't defined here. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Okay, fine. So the main thing that we have already seen, and we already seen in the previous lecture how to take how to take inputs from user, right? You already aware about it, how to take inputs from user. Okay, so I'll not cover that today because we have already covered that, right? Yeah, prompt, using prompt. Okay, so now please no play around with this whatever you want to do. Okay, with this particular things. Till then I'll just print it out, like I'll just share this PDF, like do print and PDF, like share this PDF to you. And I think so every code that I have, it is covered in this. Okay, I have taken screenshot of that as well, for everything, I think so. Okay, so in previous class, what does that mean, Aradhya? You mean to say the previous class PDF? The code has been updated. Okay, so the code has been already updated on that, uh, on the GitHub. I mean, how to take input from user. Yeah, we have already covered with the help of prompt. Okay, so you just have to do that. Okay, let me show you. So if you have something like that, okay. So what do you want to do that? Like what you have to do that you have to take the inputs from user, right? So let's say suppose you want to take input of from user of let's say name. Okay, so let's say where or let name is equals to, we have to use window dot prompt. Inside that whatever prompt you want to have, let's say any message like enter name or like hello anything. Okay, so if you do that, moment you do that in my, okay, so in like I don't think so you can see my browser. You can see my tab right now because I have just shared the console of that. I don't know. You can see it. You can see it or not? No. Okay. Let me stop it and let me show you that. Let me share it. Okay. So can you see this hello? Can you see that hello? है ना? So if you do that now, then it will be prompted like here. Okay. And whatever value will enter here, it will be stored in your name variable. Okay. So that is why I have to take your input from the user. Okay. Fine. Got it? Cool. So now, I'll give you some time to play around with it since we have some time. I am I'm done with my content thing. Okay, so I don't have anything that needs to be covered in this particular class. We have already covered everything. Since we have some more time, you can cover it. You can play around with anything you want. Okay, so I'll just meanwhile I'll just share the PDF with you all so that you can access it. Just a second, I'll be not be seeing your comment for a while. Okay, just let me print this particular thing. Okay, just a second. I think so. Uh, I need to do with my web version of OneNote. Wait a minute, I'm doing it right now. So it's a code. So we have created a new tab today of the advanced class part 2. Let me find it. Yeah, advanced is part 2. So I have copied that. I have copied that. I will be sharing with Anshul. He will be doing it. Okay. So Anshul, if you are in the class, please share the notes with the students. Okay, so that they can able to access that. Okay. Okay. So yes, and I will be also sharing the notes of the special class that we have taken earlier. Okay. So I'm sharing the two notes with Anshul. He'll be sharing with you all. Okay. So yeah, any that you want to cover it on GitHub. So yeah, okay, I'll do that on the GitHub. Just a second. I'll be uploading that right away. Although he will be also sharing the notes with you on your group on the Slack, but I'll for your purpose I'm doing it with the here in the GitHub. Okay, just a second. I will be sharing that. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'm just creating a. Okay, I'll do one more thing. Okay, so that you can able to access that. I'll just create a folder of notes from now onwards. I will be sharing everything on this notes. So you can it will be handy with you. Okay, from the class to class. Okay. So now notes of advanced JS part 2. And let me push. Okay. This of how many MBs? I haven't uploaded anything like this much MBs. There are very large files. Okay, so it has uploaded on GitHub as well, the notes folder. You can also check it from that. Can you access that? Can anyone check it on GitHub? Deepak, we did the two special class for arrays and for problem solving of loops. Okay, so on Monday or in Wednesday also in the previous week, I guess. If I'm not wrong. Okay, so you can also go through that. Got it, na? Cool. So, yeah. So, anyone have any past notes? They can also contribute in that note folder. Okay, in that notes folder, please upload whatever you have. I will be also uploading with whichever notes I have till now. And from next class onwards, we will be uploading every notes class by class on the GitHub. Although we have uploaded every course, but we will also upload from notes from now also. Okay, so that you can also access through that. Cool. Can you share the link here? Pranav, anyone can, you can also go through the Slack group. I think so many guys have has already shared that. Okay. If not, I'll request them. They will also share again with you. Please, anyone which have GitHub link, if they are comfortable, please share it on the group. Can anyone share it on the group? Okay. Yeah. So Vishal, yeah, Vishal will be share. Okay. We shall be sharing that. PDF is not opening. Why? PDF is not opening for everyone. Nilanjan, can you open the PDF? Let me see that. GitHub should open na. Okay, so Sharad, I think so that will be no like some software problem, or I don't know what the problem in your thing, but everyone else can see that. Okay, showing binary. I think so. You have opened with Notepad or anything else. Okay, so please open with some other PDF or PDF tool, or else just use the browser for that. Just download that and just see that what is happening. That okay. Okay, anything that you want me to cover, any general queries, anything that you have that is bothering you, you can ask me. Any general queries or anything related to code or anything. So yeah, Nilanjan, thank you for that. Nilanjan and Hariharan, they have shared the link here. Okay, you can share, you can do that. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so on that note, we will be wrapping up today, and tomorrow will be the final part of this advanced JavaScript concept. On the Sunday, we will do revision of that, and in the next week, I think so. Everything like the next week would be much more oriented to the recursion. Okay, so we will be covering the recursion in detail once again. We will be solving a lot of problems with respect to recursion. Although we did solve a lot of problems. Yes or no? With respect to recursion, I think so many of this class would be already comfortable with recursion, you know. We because we use the debugger, that is why in the very first class or the very initial classes I explained you how to use the debugger. Okay, okay, it will make your life a lot of easy. Okay, thanks Hariharan for that. Fine, so it was a nice awesome session. Yeah, thank you. Cool. So yeah, on that note, we'll be stopping here, and we'll be starting with that on tomorrow morning. Okay, with tomorrow morning. Okay. Goodbye. Good night. I'm ending the session.